Hello friends, today I will share cutting and stitching of umbrella cut kurti, and for that I am using this cotton fabric. This is 2.5 meter of fabric, and I am also using this plain black fabric as a yoke on my kurti. This is leftover piece of 10 inch. So let's get started. So firstly I'll cut the yoke of kurti. The length of my yoke is 8 inch, so I'll mark a point at 8 inch. Now from top, mark a point at 6.5 inch. Now I will extend these points. Now I'll mark the chest measurement. Chest is 8.5 inch, so I have marked a point there. Now for shoulder, I have marked the point at 6.75 inch. And I'll mark the same point on the chest line too. Now I will join these points. From this point, go 1 inch inwards and mark the point and join these points too. Now for neckline, from the center point go 2.5 inch inwards and mark a point. From this point, take the depth of your front neckline and mark the point. Again from this point, go 2.5 inch inwards and mark the point. Now join these points to form a rectangle. Now from this point, go half inch downwards and mark a point. Now I will join this point with this point. This is the shoulder slope, and now I will make the front and back shoulder curve. I have made a straight line over here, and I will leave 1 inch seam allowance on this side and half inch seam allowance at the bottom. Now I will cut it. So I have cut the yoke, and I have made a mark on the center point and the neckline point. Now separate the front and back. This is the back of the yoke. Now I will cut the front shoulder curve. This is the front of the yoke. This is the back of the yoke. I have made the same rectangle over here to make the back neckline. Now I'll cut the bottom part of kurti, and for that I have folded the fabric lengthwise and then fold it diagonally. Now I have placed the yoke on the fabric like this, and now I'll mark the other measurements. This is the chest point. From this point, go 7 inch downwards and mark the point. This is the waist point. Again from this point, go 7 inch downwards and mark the point. This is the hip point. Now I'll extend these points. Now I'll mark the waist and hip measurements. Waist is 7.5 inch, so I have marked the point at 7.5 inch. Hip is 10 inch, so I have marked a point there. Now I will join these points. Now I will mark the length of my kurti, which is 44 inch. So I have marked the point at 44 inch and 1 inch for seam allowance. Bottom point, keep the measuring tape on the waist, join it to the hip and take it straight to the bottom point and mark the point over here. Measure the length from the top of the fabric fold. It is 47 and 48. Now keep the measuring tape on the top of the fabric and mark the same 48-inch point to the other end of the fabric. Now I'll mark a point at 48 inch. Repeat the same process to the other end. So my kurti marking is complete and now I'll cut it. So I was just cutting the kurti and now my mind is changed. I am also making it high-low because I have enough fabric. So now I'm making it high-low too. And for that, this was the front length 44 inch, and for the back I have taken it 50 inches and I have just joined it to the end with a slight curve. Now this is the back length and this is the front length. So firstly I am cutting the back length. I have cut the low length of back. Now I'll separate the back and then I'll cut the high length for the front. So I have separated the back length. Now I will cut the high length of the front. This is how it looks. This is the front and this is the back. Now cutting is also completed and now I will stitch the kurti. For stitching, firstly I'll attach the yoke with the kurti. Place the yoke on the kurti, right sides facing each other, and I have marked the center point both on the kurti and the yoke, and now I will stitch it. I have attached the yoke and overlocked it. Now I will turn the seam allowance direction downwards and will make a top stitch. I have attached the yoke with the front of the kurti, and now similarly I will attach the yoke on the back side. So I have stitched the yoke on both sides, and now I will stitch the shoulder slopes on both sides. I have finished the shoulder slopes on the both sides and overlocked it. And now I will finish the neckline and the shoulders, and for that I am using this printed fabric as a piping. For piping I need bias strips, and for that I will fold this fabric diagonally and I will cut the bias strips. So I have cut the bias strips and now I will make the neckline. So I have attached the piping with the neckline. Now to attach the end points, just place the other side of the piping on the start, and now I will leave around 1/4 inch of seam allowance on this fabric and I will mark the slant line. I have left seam allowance on this side and marked the point here, and similarly I have left the seam allowance on this side and marked the point, and I have joined these points, and now I will cut it. And now I will stitch them together like this. So I have attached the bias strip with the neckline, and now I will trim the excess fabric. I have trimmed the excess fabric and I will hem the piping later. And now similarly I will attach the bias strip on both the shoulders. So now I have attached bias strips on the shoulders too, and now I will trim the excess fabric. I've completed the hemming of piping on neckline and shoulders, and this is how it looks. And now I will stitch the fitting seam on both the sides. Both the joints should touch each other. I have stitched fitting seam on both the sides. And now I will stitch the bottom of the kurti. So my kurti is completed and this is how it looks. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this video. If you do, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with more such videos. Till then, take care. Bye bye.